Ryan. Ryan. Is your dad watching? Is he going to be watching? Check the mic. Check.
Predator coming through. That. Right. Looks like.
We're live. We're on. We do a little broadcasting this match. One of them.
Guys, commentating.
Commentating. tailgating. Did you guys just come off the ice?
We lost earlier, so now our wives are playing.
Well, we're on live right now. Where are you guys from?
Midland.
Team Midland.
Yeah.
What's your record so far on the weekend?
We're all done at 1 and 2.
1 and 2. The dream is ended.
Yeah.
Okay, and your wives are where?
In purple, Sheet D.
Sheet D, and what is their record? 2-0. All right. The Midland women. Looking good. Are they playing Kalamazoo?
They win this game, I believe, then they have the 2-3-0 showdown for the next one.
Ooh.
And the start of the best of 3 for the ladies is very nice.
So I guess we can start with a little bit of discussion here. My name is Dan Aberg. I am an 8-year member of the Kalamazoo Curling Club. Today we're going to have the joint broadcast team. Colby Novar will be joining me. Colby is the president of the Kalamazoo Curling Club. So Colby, welcome.
Thank you, Dan.
So the teams are practicing right now. For those of you watching Sheet A, we're going to have a match between Team Gleaton out of the Kalamazoo Curling Club and Team Peterson out of Columbus.
I have all but one. But I can find it.
So for those watching this 2 p.m. match, we'll probably get into trying to find out where people are watching from. But we've got a matchup of 1-1 Kalamazoo. Colby, do you know what Team Peterson, are they also 1-1?
Team Pearson is 2-1.
2-1. Okay. So both teams need to win to stay alive, essentially, correct?
Correct.
Losing team will be done?
Yep, we're in a spot right now. It's a double knockout tournament. It's actually a modified double knockout tournament, so you have to have at least 2 losses before you're knocked out. So we do have a couple of undefeated teams playing on Sheet C, and then everyone else is up for elimination at this point.
Somebody, was that you that chatted about the volume?
That's Monica.
Okay.
Hi, Monica.
Hi, Colby's wife, Monica. So this is a bit of a test. We're trying to do this out on the ice. So if you can let us know how the volume is. I just turned the camera around, so maybe the mic is now in a better position to hear us. So if somebody who is listening can give us some feedback, that would be great. I think it's because I had it turned around. We'll find out in a second. It was probably only getting better. We're getting some waves from some of the Kalamazoo contingent. The women's team is playing on Sheet D from Kalamazoo. They are playing that Midland undefeated team. Our girls are 1-1, so the women are doing a nice job. They did get to witness a pretty uncommon thing in the world of curling in their last match. They got to witness an 8-end net. But they were not the ones who got the 8.
Unfortunately, we're on the wrong side of that 8-ender.
But they got to witness it live. I mean, that's even a little bit of part of curling history, being able to see that. So we're still waiting if somebody can chat in on how our volume is. If I can see how many people are on right now. Yeah, I can see. Let's show we have 4 viewers. If somebody is listening, can you just maybe in the chat let us know how our volume is coming in? Good test. 5 seconds.
Hey, okay, we're just doing a little bit of a sound check here. Dan, can you hear me okay from the stream? This is day 2 of the GLCA playdowns. This is draw number 8, I think.
Steven, since you're on, I just moved the mic a bit closer to us. Tell me if the broadcast audio is better now. Can you hear me now? Steven, this is Dan. Okay. Then I'm just going to leave this mic on the table. Thank you for the feedback. Want me to take a picture? Give me your number and I'll text them. What do you want me to text?
956.
Hold on.
563.
956.
563.
Yep.
9763.
This is your wife?
Yes, sir.
Sarah. With an H?
Send her a link on the screen. 1 minute.
This is Dan. I'm Ryan's partner Monday. Period. We are broadcasting his match on sheet A. Period. I will send you the link. Sorry, people listening. I know you just heard that conversation. Ryan would like to be, Ryan wants his family to hear him, so I'm going to send his wife a text. So we'll get the names of the, well, Steven, you probably know the Columbus team. I don't know all the names. Maybe you can text them in for me. Colby's got them somewhere. But I can speak for the Kalamazoo team. We've got the skip of my Monday night team. Ryan Larson is skipping the team, but throwing third. Marcus Gleaton is the vice, throwing fourth. Trevor Krause is throwing second. And the lead is Brandon Bilski. They've got a couple minutes left in practice, and then the match will be on its way. All right, see, we're up to 7 viewers here. Getting close to the match starting. It looks like Marcus Gleaton is going to throw the LSD. For our newer listeners to curling, Andrew, that would include you. I know my friend Andrew is just getting into curling and watching it in LSD. Is what's known as a last stone draw. And what they're trying to do is get it as close to the center of the house, known as the button, as possible. Both teams do that, and that will determine who has hammer for the match. So Marcus is about to throw. Brian, would you like to join the broadcast? Brian Reek, everybody, Kalamazoo Curling Club member. We're awaiting Marcus's LSD to determine hammer. We have 8 listeners currently, or viewers, I should say. And here goes Marcus with his LSD outturn. Both Trevor and Brandon are on it. Sweeping pretty much the entire length. Still both on it, and it feels light from my perspective above the sheet. And indeed, we have a short. Oh, but it might be biting. And Trevor is gassed after the first LSD. And we are going to get a measurement, laser measurement. For those of you watching, you'll see our head official, Mitch Rake, in the black, and Edward Carter helping him out with using a laser measurement to determine how far from the button that stone ended up. Since it was barely biting, my guess was it was 11 feet, 11 inches from the button. That seemed pretty accurate. Is that a pretty accurate guess on my part?
That was all about the sweep.
So, Colby is supposed to be joining me on the broadcast, but he is nowhere to be seen.
He's running around out on the ice.
Oh, he's running around out on the ice, so I'm sure he'll be up here in a second. So the teams are waiting. They're doing their measurements on each of the 5 sheets. You are not seeing that if you're watching Sheet A's broadcast right now, but the closest one that I could see right now is on Sheet E, one of the women's matches. There's one pretty darn close, guessing within a foot of the button. Looks like it's touching the 2 foot. So in curling, you'll hear us talk about the 2 foot area, which is the white center circle. The 4 foot area is in the blue, the 8 foot is in the white, and the 12 foot is in the red. Now, when we talk about that, it's the red is 12 feet because from one end of the house to the other it is 12 feet. From one end of the white portion to the other white is 8 feet, 4 feet for the blue, and 2 foot in the white zone. So all the measurements have been done. Oh, I see what Colby's doing. Colby is mopping right now. He's mopping the sheets to make sure there's no debris that showed up during the practice session. So I see we're up to 10 people. One of the fun things I like to do in these broadcasts is find out where people are tuning in from. So if you have the ability and understand how to chat, you should be able to see it somewhere on your YouTube page. You might have to minimize your screen, but if you don't mind chiming in where you're watching from, it'd be fun to find out. I believe Ryan's parents are watching from Wisconsin. I saw Stephen Imes out of Columbus, who's going to be bouncing around between a couple different games. Colby's wife, Monica. So who else is out there, and where are you watching this broadcast from? Oh, and Andrew, I forgot to mention Andrew. Andrew, I think, is coming to us from Caledonia? Grand Rapids. He's going to put Grand Rapids as his home. But isn't it technically Caledonia, Andrew? So we've got some representation across Michigan, Ohio, and Wisconsin. We're a 3-state broadcast right now. Patrick's chiming in, Monica's brother, in Dowagiac. Alrighty. And I pronounced that correctly. A lot of people look at that word and say Dowagiac. But no, I know from the locals it's Dowagiac. So again, we're awaiting the start of these matches. So again, what we're here for are the GLCA playdowns. Clubs across our GLCA region, stands for the Great Lakes Curling Association, can send teams to this playdown, and what they're playing down towards is an opportunity to go to the Club Nationals, which I believe is in Grand Forks, North Dakota. So these teams, both men and women who ever finish first, get to go to North Dakota to compete against other curling clubs that won their playdowns. I don't know what month it's in. Colby may know that. But it's a pretty exclusive opportunity. So for the men's bracket, there are 11 different teams that are competing. I can tell you here in a second how many women's teams there are. It appears there are 5 women's teams that are competing. And from what I heard earlier, the only 2 unbeaten women's teams are Team Mason and Team Swisshelm. So it's Detroit and Midland will be competing potentially later this afternoon, unless there is an upset by our Kalamazoo women, which they are still alive at 1-1. On the men's side of the bracket, take a quick peek. I took a quick picture of it. See if I can decipher all this. It appears Team Turner out of Columbus, who I believe are the defending champions, are undefeated. And as I mentioned earlier, Team Gleaton is now 1-1. Team Levy is unbeaten. They are out of Detroit. They are 2-0. And actually that match is happening on Sheet C. So if you wanted to flip over to Sheet C, that's a pretty high-level match on the men's side of the bracket. You've got 2 undefeated teams, which is huge for the winner of that particular match. This is a double elimination format. So once you've lost 2, you are out. So it looks like we're ready to get underway. Well, we've got Ann Kennedy from Columbus. Hi, Ann. Welcome. I'm assuming rooting for the Columbus team. So it appears that Kalamazoo either won the hammer or they do have the hammer, because Columbus is starting off. And maybe you can help me with the names until Colby comes back. I don't know the name of your lead. I might be able to see the back of his jersey here in a second. And we are off with an intern to start our match. Thank you, Ann. So Shane Donenworth is lead for Columbus. He throws a short guard. Ryan Larson skipping for Kalamazoo. Brandon Bilski with an out turn. Call was to come around that guard into the house. Sweepers seem to like what they see. They're not on it yet. A little bit of sweeping, and Trevor's on it, meaning they want a little bit more curl. Still on it. And a very nice first throw from Mr. Bilski. Does get behind that guard. Team Columbus looking to corner freeze on Brandon's shot. Shane Dunworth with his second. And we have Colby back. Oh, Colby's got the roster. Perfect. So the corner freeze was the call. Shane's a little heavy. Ryan trying to sweep his stone out. Does not quite get it out. It does get it to the back. Ryan wants to remove that stone.
Sorry about that, Dan. I had some ice.
Ice, we saw you were
attend
working.
to.
Yeah, we saw you were working. It's okay. So Ryan's calling for a back 12 weight from Brandon. So just a little bit heavier than a normal draw. Hoping to tap that yellow one out. Marcus Yell all there, so they believe the weight is there. Ryan's got him on it. Marcus is sweeping hard, trying to hold that line. He's got him hard. He's got him, still got him on it. All the way to the stone. And nice shot. Perfect weight by Brandon. Exactly the shot call. So who's second here?
And it does look like Peterson is calling for Josh Rennick to try to make that same freeze that Donnerworth tried. Does look like this one's hanging a little bit too much on the center line. The sweepers are not on it, so it must be a little bit heavy.
And he was a bit wide and a bit heavy. Ryan looking for a guard at the top of the house to prevent that corner freeze that those guys are trying to accomplish with Columbus. So Trevor Krause with his first shot. Trevor tells me he's got some Canadian friends and family watching, so if you are on Team Trevor, give us a holler. So Trevor went a little heavy, but not a terrible result in that he did remove that yellow stone. Not exactly where Ryan would probably want that shot. He'd be wanting that at the top of the house. So the corner freeze is still available. And again,
Josh Rennick
Josh is trying to
delivered the stone for Columbus.
So we're getting all out turns, so guessing the ice is quickly speeding up down that path. Almost all the shots have been the same path. And again, another little heavy, although not bad, no. Very nice, actually.
Yeah, Dan, that turned out to be a really good
Yeah,
shot.
it
Corner
did.
freezing on that, try and take away some points that Kalamazoo could score.
Trevor with his second shot. What was the call? Did you see Ryan's call?
It looks like about the same call, freezing back down to the yellow one that was just thrown by Columbus. This looks like it's might be curling a little bit more than they thought. So looks like it's in a position that they might be able to use that stone a little bit later on.
Yep. Not the desired result, but still an ability to work with it, unless Columbus accomplishes what they're trying to, which is another corner freeze on the shot that Trevor just shot.
Josh.
Sweepers on this one. Feeling like it might be a bit light all the way.
can't tell from my angle here, Dan. I can't tell if the blue Kalamazoo stone or the yellow Columbus is sitting shot rock.
Blue Kalamazoo that just got tapped is now shot rock, so that was a little heavier than they'd hoped. Marcus looking and decides it's time to go to the other side of the sheet. There's been a lot of stones played. So this is going to be an interesting shot for Ryan. No one has thrown this path. It's a little bit of a guess on weight. Ryan throwing I think our first intern of the entire end.
So, sorry, I missed the start, but it does look like Kalamazoo has hammer.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Kalamazoo has hammer. Brandon sweeping most of the way. And they're both still on it. Looking like a pretty good weight stone. And nice shot by Ryan Larson. A little bit above the tee.
So they were trying to split the house here, Dan, just to try to score 2 points out of this. If we can keep play to the other side of the house and away from that shot stone, even though the one they just threw might be the new shot stone.
So Team Columbus looking for the hit to remove that stone.
It looks like he's trying to hit and roll back under the pile over there.
Yeah, and I think he's a little more narrow than he'd hoped. Does accomplish removing the stone, but the roll was a bit more than they'd hoped for. So it did knock out that other blue, but Marcus calling for the same shot from Ryan, again trying to split that house. Ryan should have this weight down. Oh, I see we've got 24 viewers now. So earlier I asked for folks to chime in, let us know where you're watching from. Since we have new viewers, if you wouldn't mind doing that, it'd be nice to see where everybody's watching this match from. So Ryan Larson with his second shot, and in turn, sweepers really want to get it in the house. So Ryan's shot was a little lighter than he'd hoped. Really wanted to get that into the 8 foot, right, Colby, to at least outcount those yellow stones.
Yeah, we really wanted that in the 8 foot, maybe even touching the 4 foot would have been good as well.
Oh, Uncle Colby. Got a niece watching, do you?
It looks like we got some family tuning in. My brother-in-law Patrick has turned in, started listening or watching.
Oh, Jerry Brownell in snowy southwest Michigan. For those of you that don't live here, we're in a winter storm warning. Have been since last evening, and I saw on my drive here that we are in it until 12 p.m. tomorrow. Luckily, all the teams were able to get in before the snow started yesterday, so a lot of the contestants are pretty much hunkering down, staying close to the club with the weather that we have. So looks like Team Columbus is just trying to break some of this apart, right?
Nope, it looks like he's throwing a draw behind the cover of that blue stone that was just thrown. They're liking the line so far. Looks like it might be
a hair heavy, but yeah, no, they're sweeping it.
Oh, there goes the curl, a little bit of late curl. This looks like this could be a pretty good shot from Marshall.
Pretty good. It's hanging out a little. It's going to, best I can tell, Marcus is going to have a shot on that yellow. Yep, as I'm looking at the broadcast, it looks like he's got 2/3 of that stone. So with a downweight hit, he should be able to get to it and possibly then roll.
He's trying to roll maybe back
under some of that stuff.
Yeah,
into that stuff on the left side of the sheet. Marcus and Ryan discussing where they want Marcus's shot to end up. Looks like the discussion is, do they want to roll into the stones or just roll just a hair so it's actually out in the open a bit more as a guard?
I would think you want to roll all the way to those stones on the other side. So if if it's left in the open, it would give Marshall an opportunity to hit and roll under cover somewhere. So
Should become shot stone. Maybe the concern is that it might come in and actually hit their current blue stone that is in the best position of those stones off to the side. They don't want to knock that out ideally, but at any rate, we're going to find out here in a second what's going to happen. So Marcus Gleaton throwing an intern. So far, sweeper's watching. Ryan seems to like the line so far. He's wanting a little more curl on it by putting Trevor onto it. Got Trevor on it all the way. He needs to curl.
that turned out to be a good shot. I think it bounced off one of the yellows on the side, and now Kalamazoo's shooting 1-2, I believe.
Yep, that is exactly, I'm guessing, the shot they were looking for. So they did get that yellow one pushed back. 2 Kalamazoo stones in the 8-foot.
So Marshall now is looking to draw down to that blue stone that was just thrown by Marcus.
Got the sweepers on it. Guessing for line at this
What
point.
they don't want to do is crash on their,
Hit
on
that
their
yellow.
top yellow.
And they did get around.
Oh, they
did
just got a
make
little
it.
bit of a rub off that top yellow.
Yeah, that's a
So
crucial.
Gleaton's going to have a chance for pretty much an open draw to score 3.
Yep, last stone. And for those kind of paying attention to what's going on in the entire tournament, Sheet C is our match of the undefeated teams, and it looks like Team Turner got 1 in the first end. So they are up 1-0 after 1. It's Marcus with his out turn. And if he can touch blue, touch the 4-foot, for sure they're going to get their 3. Where's the closest yellow? Yeah, he's just got to get fully into the white. Fully into the 8, he'll be good. They're afraid to touch it.
Must be
They're going to go too far. So Team Columbus, Skip looking to sweep it past the 8. And I think they did what they needed to. So yes, just a little too heavy by Marcus. Columbus able to sweep it through, so Kalamazoo ends up with 2 in the first end. Columbus avoiding what would have been a really tough way to start going down 3, so they're in a much better position with that miss by Marcus. So we have 27 viewers. Still looking for people to let us know where you're from. We've only heard from a few of you. Where are you guys watching from? So we're into N2. Brandon Bilski, lead for Kalamazoo. About to throw his first stone. Brandon with the out turn. So our broadcast team has got a unique vantage point. We're on a stairwell literally above where Ryan is sitting in the house, just about 15 feet off from him. So he was looking for that center line guard, and Brandon threw a dandy. Splits the center line about a foot from the house. Beautiful first shot by Brandon Bilski.
So Dan, I think this is a good time to talk about this. We are playing the no-tick rule this weekend.
Oh, okay. Why don't you explain the no-tick rule, Colby?
So if you do have a guard, or I should say a rock in the free guard zone, as you see the first rock there, If it is touching the center line, that rock cannot be removed off of the center line.
So had that yellow one that just got thrown touched blue and moved it off the center line. The blue one would have been replaced, correct?
The blue one would have been replaced.
And yellow comes off?
Correct.
Okay. And what's the reason for that rule, Colby?
I think it's actually promotes some more scoring. The World Curling Federation implemented that rule this year. There's a lot of teams who are getting really good at making that tick shot, opening the game up to some center guards, to some corner guards.
Okay, well, thank you for that explanation. So Ryan called for Brandon to come around his initial guard. Looks like he might be a little wider than he'd hoped. We'll see if they can get it right down to that yellow, which Ryan's trying to kind of get it in line so that if indeed Team Columbus decides to hit it, they very well may jam back on that yellow. So Columbus looking to draw around, same call that Ryan made. You see we got Timmy Young coming into us from Portage, Michigan. Hello, Timmy, and Allie, if you're there, and Sawyer, if you're there, Sawyer. So sweepers have been on this one the whole way. Now, Colby, how is the tick rule the entire through 5 stones, just like the free guard?
Just like the free guard zone. Okay. So, as I guess more of the previous rule. The 2 rocks you see in the front of the house there, they're in what's called the free guard zone. So we do have a 5-rock free guard zone. Those rocks cannot be removed from play until the 6th rock is thrown from the end.
Got it. So Trevor Krause now throwing for Kalamazoo again, trying to come around those guards and get tucked in. Brandon's getting ready to sweep. They're deciding, but again, it feels a little heavier than they want. Yep, now he's got him on it. No, I guess the weight is good. It was just hanging out there a bit. So very nice weight by Trevor Krause. And again, for anybody that's new to curling, when we talk about weight, we talk about how heavy they're throwing the stone. A heavyweight throw would be at the back of the house or through the house. A lightweight stone would be at the top of the house or maybe not even get into the house. So weight is crucial in curling. So Team Columbus is looking to get rid of these center line guards. They're not helping them at this point, and so the shot we call in curling is a peel. They're hoping to put their yellow stone on the side and have both stones leave the ice, which they did. Perfect peel by Columbus to remove one of those centerline guards. Ryan's making a call to continue piling stones in behind that guard if possible. Trevor was shot 2. This one feels heavy to me, Colby.
This one does look a little bit heavier than the last one.
It's starting to slow down.
The sweepers are not even concerned about it, so
they might be able to tip that blue one just in a hair more to guard it.
Probably.
Yeah, that could end up making it a little more buried. Well,
might have opened up a hit and roll into the center for Team Peterson, though.
Yeah, on both sides.
It does look like he's going to play the hit.
Okay.
So ideally they want to hit this just a little bit on the inside of the rock and roll over to the other blue rock there. And then
just got a hair inside, but not enough. He left it hanging out, so Kalamazoo now is going to try the exact same shot. Marcus asking Ryan whether he wants to throw an out turn or in turn. He's opted for the out turn. So Ryan hoping to kind of come across the face of the stone, just a hair. Heard one of the sweepers say it's up, meaning it's a higher higher weight shot than they'd hoped for. Brandon's trying to curl it and ended up, unfortunately, hanging out and clipping one of their own stones in the process on the ricochet. But Kalamazoo's still 1-2. If I skip Ryan Larson's first shot.
So now Columbus is just going to looks like they're trying to draw down under cover here. This shot looks like it's going to be a little narrow and actually might raise the Kalamazoo Blue Rock into the house.
Oh, Don Pichet chiming in from Traverse City. Welcome, Don. Congrats on your new facility up in Traverse City, which is almost a year old right now, right? Or no, not quite. Was the Cherry Bombs Field their first event last year?
Yeah, so I believe Traverse City Club opened around January this time last year.
Okay, so it was around this time. So maybe Don can chime in as to what the official first event was in Traverse City last year. So Ryan trying to come around the other side now. Brandon's sweeping hard. And he's off. And unfortunately, Ryan has clipped that guard. So both teams having a hard time getting the weight exactly down. They've had a couple narrow shots. They've had a couple up weight hits that didn't curl enough for them. So I think the first team to make a really good shot is going to be in a really good position here the rest of the end. End of January 2023, so coming up on their 1-year anniversary in a beautiful facility in Traverse City, Michigan, if you've not been up there. And I've not. Sweepers on it hard, and again, I think we're going to have a guard crash. And unfortunately for Columbus, not only did they clip the guard,
it may look like that side of the sheet might be just curling a tad bit more than this side. Like the skips are getting the line called down completely. All the last 3 rocks have curled more than what they expected.
And a little disclaimer that was meant to go out at the start of this broadcast: neither Colby nor myself are curling broadcasters, so you're not hearing a professional broadcast here. So bear with us on how this goes. So Ryan looks to be calling for a guard just into the 8 foot. So he wants it to outcount those yellows. So even though Kalamazoo doesn't have hammer, they are in a really good position in this end for a steal of potentially multiple. Columbus needs to get a shot in there. Marcus with his out turn. Ed Brzezinski.
I heard him yell narrow.
Ed Brzezinski's chiming in. Obviously not professional, he says. So there's always a comedian in the group, and his name is Ed Brzezinski. So it's a little heavier than they wanted, but it's still good. Oh, they got me on T.
Ed, we hope you are healing quickly.
Ed Brzezinski, the head ice man for Kalamazoo, it was shoulder surgery, right?
Correct.
Had shoulder surgery, has it been a couple months now? November maybe?
Had it early December, I believe.
So Ed, heal up. Can't wait to have you back down here on a regular basis. Ed, will you be curling again yet this year, or are you done for the season? So that little bit of extra weight did leave Columbus with the opening that they needed. They can get this draw, if they get it right down onto the button, it really puts Kalamazoo in a tough spot to move it. So that's the call, I'm assuming, Colby. I didn't see him, but...
Yeah, exactly right, Dan. So this call is to sit, I think, right on top of that one that we see on the button. Even though our last shot for Kalamazoo wasn't as planned, this does probably make this a force if Marshall's able to make this. I would think it would be hard to have them score 2 points out of this end.
They were on it, all three sweepers the whole way, but now they're off. They may have overswept that, Colby. I think they should have stayed off that, and yeah, it might have been better to leave that one alone, but all three sweepers on it, and now...
So from our vantage point, right above the, almost above the house, it looks like we're sitting 1, possibly 2.
Well, I'm looking at the broadcast, which I think is a better view, Colby, and I think we're for sure 1. Boy, it's tough to tell who's 2 right now. But Kalamazoo in a really nice position and opportunity to put a lot of pressure on Columbus with really the same shot that was called last time. So Marcus just threw this shot. He should know that he needs to be a little down weight. He does not want this to come all the way to the tee this time. Or does he, Colby?
Nope, they're calling it at the top of the forefoot, which is the top of the blue circle that you see on the screen. So they might be sitting 2 and just trying to protect those 2 points. For sure trying to protect the 1 point.
So again, for our newer curlers, since Columbus has the hammer, if Kalamazoo can score any points, that's considered a victory for Kalamazoo. That's what we call a steal. And Brandon's, you can hear him speaking to Ryan the Skip, saying that the stone is all the way to the tee in his opinion. And they need that to stop short of the tee. And it goes a hair much. So unfortunately, Marcus just a touch more weight than he wanted there. And it's a good example, Colby, of how much curling is just a game of inches. Had that stone been 3 to 4 inches higher even, I think this shot is a more difficult one for Columbus. They still have the draw, right?
I believe the draw is still there.
And if they can come across the face of that blue one, it should roll into a better position, right?
It does look like from this position, if they get right to the nose of that blue one, they might be point. And it looks like that probably on the overhead view as well.
So they need to, sweepers need to get the weight right this time on their sweep call. Marshall Peterson, skip for Columbus, releases his stone, and he seems to be throwing a pretty heavy one.
Like
He must be not worried about the perfect throw. He just wants to get to the face. Oh, and they're trying to promote curl. Is it going to get there? And I think it's a little wide. Unfortunately, it did not get to the center. And so Kalamazoo with for sure 1, and skips are looking to try to determine what's the 2 count. They've made their decision. Do you know what it was, Colby?
Ryan pointed to a yellow rock, so it looks like Kalamazoo took 1 on that.
Well, we'll find out when they hang the scorecard. So what are our 2 teams playing on sheet 2? We've got a Columbus and a Cincinnati match.
So on sheet 2, we do have the White from Cincinnati, which is...
Let's see. The team with the throw is Columbus, right?
Yeah, Columbus is ready to go down and throw. So we got Columbus in yellow.
So Columbus is ahead 2-0 after the first end. In our women's game against the undefeated Midland team, it does look like Kalamazoo did take 1 in the first end, so they were up 1 after 1.
And I wonder if they had a delay in that game over there for some reason. It looks like they're just starting their second end.
No, I think they're their third end.
Oh, it's starting their third end. Okay, they just haven't put the score up for the second end yet. So
Oh, so it does appear from our scoreboard hang that Kalamazoo did indeed get stole 2 in that second end. So Kalamazoo up 4-0 on Columbus
Okay.
after 2 ends.
And our Kalamazoo women's team did score in the second end. We just don't know how many since they are throwing first. It means they did score in the previous end.
That's true, Colby. Very intuitive of you. Timmy Young with the... Alright, so it looks like Columbus was trying to hit that stone, but unfortunately threw a flash. So Ryan Larson, I can attest, being on his team on Monday, when he gets a lead, he likes to put stones in the house. And that first call was to put the stone in the house, so mission accomplished. And now that we had a flash in the Columbus first shot, did you see the shot calls he bringing this one in too, or is he guarding that?
I believe the call was just a guard,
Yep,
so came in first and then guarded the rock up. Which
This one looks like it's hanging a little wide and a little heavy. So
curling in late, so it looks
just
like
watching
we're
it
gonna
and
be
trying to decide. So trying to get a little bounce off so that it's not on it, but not ideal for Kalamazoo because now Columbus with a hit could remove both those stones. Shane Donisworth going for the hit. Hopefully remove both Kalamazoo stones. Sweepers were off it most of the time. They like it quite a bit, and indeed, Shane accomplishes his goal and removes both Kalamazoo stones.
This end is setting up Dan as a lot of hits on the way the house is set up right now. So it looks like Ryan is electing to hit this yellow stone as well.
And again, knowing Ryan, he's fine with this strategy. He's got the confidence that his remaining throwers can remove stones, and he'd be fine giving up one here. So he just wants to keep a clean house.
It is very difficult to score if you don't have any guards in play in this game.
Right.
With teams that are good at hitting, and it looks like Peterson is electing to hit too. So this is aiming to be maybe a blank end from Peterson at this point, unless something kind of happens.
So Josh Rennick, second for Columbus. And the sweepers were on it the whole way, and they're off. Like what they see. And Josh makes the hit. Little roll off to the side.
I think that was the roll that they were looking for. So it's a little bit more difficulty hitting a rock that's further out on the edges rather than on the center of the sheet.
So Trevor Kraus looking for the hit on this stone with an in-turn.
Getting waved off by Ryan.
He's looking for a little curl now, so maybe a little out of what Trevor wanted. Ooh, and it was a bit wide and did not end up getting any of that stone. Columbus electing to split the house. So this is their opportunity to potentially get at least 2, which is pretty important for them at this point. They'd love to get a multiple score end. And thus becomes the danger, Colby, in playing a in-the-house game. It's fine if you make your hits, but anytime you miss, you now risk and leave yourself to the...
That is very true, and I'm sure we've both been on the bad ends of those types of games before.
Yep. As club-level curlers, we miss killing shots. So Columbus throws through the house, giving Ryan now the opportunity to accomplish their goal from the last shot, which was get rid of that stone. And the sweepers look to be happy with the throw, and indeed Ryan sticks that shot.
A quick score update from sheet B. It does look like Cincinnati did score 3 points in the second end and now lead that over Columbus 3-1. Peterson elected to hit the rock, and it was just a little bit narrow. So now Kalamazoo has a chance to put a second rock into the house, which this will probably cause Columbus to probably score 1 point as long as they can kind of make their hits.
Kalamazoo seems to like either the weight of the shot or they feel it's heavy.
It looks to be right about T-line, maybe just a little past T-line.
So the unfortunate part for Kalamazoo, it does leave the freeze as is that the called shot?
Not with this type of ice. So I'm looking at the broom. So this looks like they're playing a down weight hit. They really need their rock to stick around.
Columbus on it the entire way, trying to hold that line.
And a good shot.
So we did get a score update from the Kalamazoo women on sheet D. They indeed did score another one in the second end. So Team Kalamazoo women up 2-0 against the unbeaten Midland squad. And in our Battle of the Unbeaten Men, Team Detroit, Team Levy, did get one in the second end. So that is a 1-1 match of unbeaten teams. Ryan electing to just remove this stone with another hit. Marcus indeed does it and rolls out to the edge of the sheet, which is important that it's still in play. Had that rolled out, Columbus would have been doing their best to blank this end, I'm pretty sure, but by keeping two stones in the house, they're not going to be able to do that. Unless they can throw some kind of miraculous double here. I don't think they're going to try for that.
I think that would be a pretty miraculous shot for our level of curling that we're on. Can't tell if the angles are there. I'm thinking he's going to more want to hit and just roll in just a little bit so he can be shot rock.
Marshall Peterson, Columbus skip with his first stone, and number 3. So he did not get inside. Is that touching the house? I assume it is, since they're looking at it. Yes, it is. So Team Kalamazoo looking to, I think, ideally roll in because they really want to keep this in the house, right, Toby? I guess at this point it probably does. Well, yeah,
I think you want to roll in a little bit. What they want to do is force Peterson to take 1 point in this end.
Right. If they hit and stick this, they could be outside of the house, leaving the opportunity for a blank.
Or if Marcus hits and rolls out, it would give the opportunity for Peterson to try to blank the end. And the reason a team would want to blank the end so they would keep the hammer in the next end. Trying to hit that one on nose. I can't tell from here if that's going to be touching the house or not.
We're going to know here in a second. On
Peterson never looked at it. So
no, it is not. So this opens up the opportunity that Peterson was looking for, which is to remove Team Kalamazoo's stone and remove their own stone in the process. So with that broom, Marshall Peterson's going to be looking to throw an out turn and have it come across. I think the face, right, Colby, and the spit
He may be just trying to hit this on the outside of it.
All right, he's just throwing a bullet at
So
that.
I think he's trying to throw a bullet at it.
Okay.
This is going to be my guess, and then they can air and be inside a little bit. He doesn't want to hit too far inside and then stick around and get his 1 point. So ideally hitting this on the outside.
And the edges of our sheets do tend to hang. So indeed, I think that was the call, and that was a perfect shot.
And he did make a good shot.
So nice job by Marshall Peterson getting the blank, which is a victory for Team Columbus, as they're looking for multiple points. Kobe, I'm going to go get something to drink.
All right. So we'll take this a little bit of time. I'm playing on sheet E. We do have Cleveland playing against Cincinnati on the women's side. It does look like Cleveland is up 3-1 after the second end. Update here on the Kalamazoo women playing on sheet D. Still playing the third end. Kalamazoo up 2-0 after two ends. All right. So back to our featured game. It does look like Brandon Bilski was able to place a great guard, what is what we refer to as a free guard, right close to the house on the center line. So Kalamazoo is looking to set up a steal here. Peterson was attempting to draw around that guard, left it just a bit wide into the back of the house, and Ryan Larson is looking to hit this rock out. Again, going back to Dan's earlier comments, trying to keep the house nice and clean here. Kalamazoo started sweeping right away. Don't seem to be too concerned about the rock. Now he's off sweeping, and Brandon makes a nice hit, gets a little bit of a roll to the inside, forcing Peterson to attempt a hit here too. Ideally, he's going to try to hit this rock a little bit on the inside edge of it and roll towards the center line. Sweepers have not been sweeping at all. This looks like it's a little bit outside. And they did miss the rock completely. All right. So now Kalamazoo is calling for something in the 8-foot, but as a guard above the tee line to help guard up this rock and have another rock in the house for a potential score.
Well, Colby, we're still at 27 viewers, so I feel like we haven't scared too many away. It's impressive.
At least not yet.
We may, I'm going to stress may, have an on-ice interview at the break here in a bit. We'll see. No promises, but we'll see if we can make that happen.
So our last shot was just a little heavier than Kalamazoo wanted, and ended up pushing their rock back to the back of the house. and left our rock sitting kind of in the open. So again, Peterson's going to try to hit the inside half of this rock and roll towards the center line to try to get underneath Kalamazoo guard. Hit it a little bit outside of where they wanted, but was able to run that rock back into another Kalamazoo rock. Kalamazoo still sitting one in the back of the house, trying to curl one up into behind their guard, but more in the 8-foot, maybe at the top of the 4-foot. Looks to be maybe a tricky line there, or maybe just slightly light, maybe from what they were looking for. Dan is not liking the taste of his Fresca.
April of 22. Yeah. How long has that been in our fridge?
Probably since last week. All right, so now Peterson is trying to come around those two top guards. It looks like they're liking this so far. Nicely executed shot by Josh Rennick from the Columbus, putting that one right in front of the button. Kalamazoo looking to run their guards back into the yellow rock that is sitting on the button. And very nice hit. Was able to remove that yellow rock, keep two center guards. Peterson now is going to be looking to, I think, play this hit and roll back into the center line.
And a good Diet Coke with a date of February 1st, 24. That sounds better to me.
Sounds a little more fresh there.
A little fresher than that 2-year-old Fresca. All right, what's going on, Colby? Two center guards out there.
We're looking for the hit and roll underneath. This looks like it's just hanging a little bit wide. All right. It looks like we are going to be drawing around the two center guards. Try to get one under cover, which would be tough to remove. A little scoring update from Kalamazoo women over on sheet D. It does look like the Mason team out of Midland had scored 3 in the third. So that game is now 3-2 Midland after 3. All right, sweepers are down on this rock. They're calling it for it to be a little bit deeper in the house. They're right off it. All right. This one will not hang in the back of the house. So now Peterson's going to attempt that same draw. Put one behind these guards. The sweepers are liking it so far, right off it, so they
Right.
like it or they think it's heavy.
Yeah, I
And
think
it does
it's
look
the
like
latter. And wide. We really don't want something hanging out.
I believe with the correct weight on that one, it would have curled up a little bit more and been a pretty good shot. So just about 6 feet heavier than what they wanted.
So based on the ice I'm seeing them giving, they do expect some pretty decent curl. Ryan is giving Marcus an aim point about 4 inches into the 12 foot. That's a lot of curls.
So we're counting on about
4.5
about 4.5. A solid 4, maybe 4.5.
We must have a good ice guy here working this tournament. Who is it? Oh, it's Colby Novar, everybody. So, nice job, Colby. Thanks for all your work this weekend.
It is my pleasure. It's great to be able to put on a great event and have good curling ice for everyone to compete on.
So Marcus with his intern release. Ryan thinks it's heavy. Brandon's yelling back 4.
This looks like it needs to curl too and possibly sit on this rock in the back of the house.
And Eric is on it, hoping he can keep that to the outside. And unfortunately for Columbus, they really needed that to outcount our yellow, and so now they're going to be forced to make a draw for. Well, actually, they still have 2 shots.
This
here,
looks like it's going to be the 4th straight attempt on this draw path.
You know, the funny thing is, didn't somebody make it early on in the end? When I was walking down to replace my Fresca, I saw somebody put one on the button.
But there was one there, and to be honest, Dan, I can't remember if they curled on this side or if it was on the other side.
Okay. They come in, they just missed the guards. So the shot is possible.
So I believe that was the vice skip who's holding the broom now, Eric, who made that shot initially.
So we must have thrown a pretty nice shot to chip it out of there.
Ryan threw a double run back and removed that rock and kept both center guards.
So these sweepers are on it the whole way. In fact,
this looks like it could be a good shot if it gets past the guards.
Marshall's coming down, thinking he might need to jump in. Oh, we got a nice just around the guard, and
very well executed, very well swept.
Skip thanking his sweepers for a job well done. And that's exactly what Columbus needed.
So Dan, it looks like the shot they're talking about is the shot that you missed, that Ryan threw earlier. Hitting the top blue guard there into the second, back onto the yellow.
So now there is a danger here that I see. If for some reason yellow jammed back on our blue, there is a path for Columbus to get 3 here. I know that's not probably what we're worried about right now, but that is a possibility. So they got to make sure they get the angle right on this hit. So Ryan does not want Marcus to center this hit. He wants him to be off to the side a bit. There's enough distance between those 2 blue stones. Oh, Marcus is throwing a bullet at this thing.
Looking for this to curl up a bit. And he gets just enough of it.
Goal. Nice shot, Marcus Gleason. Oh, the people in the audience are happy about that shot.
People in the building are going wild.
Oh my God. Can't contain themselves, Colby. All right. So, Marshall Peterson with a hit for 2. Pretty much he just wants to square this.
Yep, right on nose. We'll kind of get them back in the ballgame a little bit.
And I don't know what you've updated. I think I heard you updating the women's score, but in the Battle of the Undefeated Men, it appears that Team Columbus is ahead of 3-1 after 3 ends. And here's our final shot. Sweeping the whole way, sweeping the whole way. Nice shot. Also Peterson, Columbus with 2. In the third. Oh, and the fourth. I forgot about the fourth. Yep, so we are going to be 4-2. We're going to have a break here. How long is the break, Colby?
We have a 5-minute break.
5 minutes? All right, I'm going to do my best to see if I can get Marcus to talk to us. So I see Marcus over here. Let's see if he's sliding away. At some point he'll be coming back. So they're mopping the sheet right now. And I'll see if I can get his attention. And there's Trevor. Hi, Trevor. You want to say hi? I haven't had anybody from Canada chime in, but we got Trevor. No one seems to have chimed in.
Hey, Mom and Dad, if you're watching.
All right. Tell them to chime in the chat. Maybe they don't know how. So we got Marcus Gleaton here. Marcus, give us an assessment of how things went here through the first 4 ends.
Yeah.
From your standpoint.
From my standpoint, we played really good for 3 ends. and then, I missed a shot there at the very end to make it real tough. And Peterson made a great shot to get 2. So that was a good shot. They played a good end that fourth end.
Yeah, it looked like you guys everybody was having trouble getting the right weight on that, coming around those 2 guards.
There's a lot of curl there from the left side to the center line.
Yeah.
We saw a number of rocks wrecked there.
Right, we've seen that throughout the whole match.
Yeah.
A couple of shots over curling, and so Colby and I doing some armchair skipping from up there during your match.
It's always easy.
We're being really nice to you
It's
guys.
always easy from the rail.
Well, good luck in the
Thanks,
second
Dano.
4 ends.
Appreciate
And
you doing it.
yep, take care. Well, there you have it. That was Skip Marcus Gleaton, our second Trevor Kraus. And I'll see if I can at least convince Ryan Larson to maybe say hello to his family members. So again, 4-2 after 4 ends in our feature broadcast match between Kalamazoo and Columbus. Again, looking across the sheets in our Cincinnati versus Columbus match. It appears that Cincinnati has a pretty commanding lead. They are ahead 5-2 after 3 ends. Anybody from Columbus want to talk to? Because somebody's got people here. Skip, you want to? You good? How'd you feel about it? You made a nice shot there at the end. I mean, were you feeling a little pressure, like you needed to score a few points here before the break?
You always feel pressure to score points. That's the way the game is.
Yeah. Well, nice shot. Good luck. Ryan, you want to say hello to family at least?
Thanks for watching.
And Ryan Larson, a man of many words. Thanks for watching. And I don't know yet if his family from home, about an hour north of here, is watching. I'm moving back up to our broadcast point. I was down on the ice, so I've got a portable mic here I'm walking around with. So let me get back here in position for the remainder of our match between Kalamazoo and Columbus. All right, Colby, welcome back.
Thank you.
You got yourself a beverage. We won't mention it by name. We don't want to necessarily get to franchise ourselves with any of our advertisers. We don't have any advertisers anymore when it comes to beverages, do we?
We do not. So
So if anyone out there is listening would like to be an advertise,
guess what Colby's drinking?
guess what Colby's drinking. Or if you'd like to advertise in the Kalamazoo Curling Club, you could have your banner flashing at the top of the screen, like Steens Milan and Power Equipment. We can help. All right, back to our match. Team Columbus feverishly trying to move that guard a little bit further. They did touch center line. Goal number 1. Guessing they might have liked that to be a little closer to the house, but guard was made. Mark Rentschler, Lori Rentschler's husband, is guessing two-hearted. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm guessing that could be Lori as well, on a shared account. Since it looks like I'm watching the live stream at home, which I'm obviously not. I will say hi to Monica watching at home. And hopefully the snow's not piling up too much. So a little score update here. It looks like our women's team has gone to the fourth end break. My apologies. Score has not been posted yet on the scoreboard. So we'll come back to that update.
You saw that. So I do know for a fact that Ryan Larson's family is watching as of right now. Up, I believe in Lake Odessa, I believe is where Ryan technically lives. So we'll shout out to Theo and his daughter. I forget your name. But hey, hi kids, and Sarah. Thanks for watching. So back to the action. We've got 4 stones thrown.
Ryan has family back in Wisconsin, which normally kind of watch sometimes too.
Yeah, I believe his dad's watching. Typically is. So Columbus trying to bring this stone in, I'm assuming for a freeze. Marshall Peterson, they're both sweeping really hard trying to get that thing in, and they're a little shy of what they had hoped for. Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Arlene Carter, everybody. Arlene Carter says hello on the broadcast. She's on her way back to her game. They are on their 4th end break.
I was attempting to get a score update on the women's game. I think the Kalamazoo women scored 1 in the 4th, which would bring that game to a 3-3 tie.
Nice. Colby, you got another fan on here. Andy.
Andy B.
So speaking of family in Wisconsin, I've got the good fortune of finally convinced Ryan to curl with me back in Wisconsin, Colby. He hasn't done that with me, so myself and Joe Gillish are going to curl with Ryan, and I think one of his family members actually at the Poinet Men's in February, the Bonspiel, so we're looking forward to that. So Trevor Kraus. His first throw. Looks like he's trying to come in behind that guard. little heavier than I think anybody wanted. It does get it under cover, but a little bit to the back of the house.
So it does look like we're still trying to curl down to, or Peterson is trying to curl down to that blue rock that's in the house.
So Josh Rennick, his first. Sweepers on it the whole way. Skip coming out to help, so they believe this one's got to move. Oh, now they're off. And looking for a last bit of curl to try to catch a piece. They are able to get a piece, but Yellowstone out and available to be hit if Ryan so chooses. So Ryan calling for a down weight hit. He's looking for a. Now he's asking just for a. He's asking for a hack weight hit, meaning if there were no stones out there, that stone would end up at the hack on the other side. So definitely not a normal weight hit, just a little down weight. Should allow the stone to be a little more controlled by Trevor. Sweeper's on it instantly, so Ryan's really concerned that it's going to over curl. Marcus on it. I think he's going to hold it. It's going to be close.
Looks like we are on the guard.
And we are on the guard.
Which is not all bad. It will open up that path. Rock still stayed in the house, so even though Columbus is sitting one, we do have 3 other rocks in the house at this point. And now that Columbus rock is wide open, and Peterson is going to try to guard it now.
So Colby, the purpose of that down weight hit is it allows the stone to curl a bit more, right, at the end, because that one was a little partially guarded. So I'm guessing the reason they're making that down weight call is just to try to come inside and maybe roll a little bit to the left.
Yeah, exactly. You want to be able to have the thrown rock to be controlled. It looks like it was under the guard a little bit, so you couldn't throw real heavyweight. You needed that last little bit of curl on it, and you wanted to keep your rock around in the house to have the potential to score multiple points.
Right.
And it does look like Columbus. I don't know what the called shot was, if it was intended to draw all the way back down, but it looks like they're sitting 2 there in the house. But it looks like it might give an opportunity for a double takeout if Ryan is able to hit right between both yellow rocks.
I do think because of where our blue one is, though, that stone on the left is probably not going to leave. I think it's probably going to stick around. We'll
So
see. Ryan's got the ability to throw pretty good weight. So Ryan and Marcus talking to each other from down the sheet. Yeah. You may have heard it on the mic. Ryan was saying that he doesn't hate hitting and losing the blue stone right now because we still have enough stones left that a lot can happen.
It does look like that last yellow rock was a little bit higher than the other one. I thought they were a little bit more even, so it looks like we are trying to jiggle those rocks around just to reposition them a little bit.
So looks like main goal is to clip the one on the right there.
I think the one on the left.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
We just needed to put some separation on those, kind of open that up for us to give us a chance for us to hit those out on a later rock. And a score correction from the ladies. It was actually the Midland team that scored 1 in the 4th, so now they are up 4-2.
So Eric Denzer is trying to throw just at the top of the 4-foot is where I saw his skip tapping the stone. And it seems like it's hanging out a little more than.
Seems like a little heavier. Looks like he might clip the blue one and roll.
Oh, he's getting the curl. No, he's getting the curl in. He's
So,
getting the curl in.
looked like a lot of nice curl there at the late. late finish curl over to it. Really kind of locking some of those stones in there together.
So now it's getting a little more challenging for Team Kalamazoo. Getting a pretty gummed up forefoot. So it looks like Marcus. Some conversation happening between Marcus and Ryan as to where Ryan's shooter will end on this hit. They are going to hit that top yellow stone at the top of the forefoot. We just need to move things around, like you said last time. So this is definitely going to be a more traditional weight
A little
hit.
heavier, not a bullet, not a rocket down there.
No, this is from curling with Ryan. This is his normal hit. Seems like he's a little wider than they probably wanted. You do get some separation. So as it stands, Columbus is shot 1, Kalamazoo shot 2, Columbus 3 and 4 right now.
So we got time for a quick update on Sheet C of the undefeated teams, Detroit and Columbus. Looks like after 4 ends, it's all tied at 3 apiece.
Man, Colby, you got people on from all across the world listening, watching. It's your dad, right?
So James Novar is going to be my dad watching down in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Wow, South Carolina in the house. They have no family watching. They were up to 30. All right.
I like the card.
So it looks like Peterson's just trying to draw another one down in there, probably sit right on top of that blue rock that was just thrown by Ryan. Just really trying to cut down the opportunity for Kalamazoo to score multiple points here. Looks like it might be over curling a little bit. No, it looks like it's going to be a good guard. So it's actually throwing the guard, preventing Kalamazoo to throwing one down and hitting that one out. But it does look like the shot stone of Columbus is open on the right side. So we're discussing to catch a piece of that rock. Probably roll out to the side a little bit. Keep that button area open for us to potentially draw another rock in. But would give Columbus the opportunity to draw in there as well.
In our Sheet B Cincinnati Columbus match, Cincinnati is pulling away a bit. They're up 6-2 after 4. Marcus throwing a pretty heavy shot here. Ryan's calling him off. He likes the position, and nice shot by Marcus Gleaton.
All right.
Mission accomplished.
I think just as I kind of called it, tried to pick that out, roll out to the side. It might leave that button space open. I don't know if there's enough room in there for a late curl to get in, especially with that high yellow guard that you may or may not see on the stream. We're talking about the high guard up on the right might reduce the draw path into that area a little bit.
They seem to be talking about a hit based on the ice I'm seeing. I don't even know. Let's see. sea line.
So it does look like they try to catch about
Maybe we're just gonna try to push that glue a little.
half a rock or quarter rock, push that through the two yellow rocks there on the left. It looks like there is space for that rock to go through there.
So Skip Marshall Peterson
With his last rock.
his last rock. Looks to be kind of a control weight hit that he threw.
Sweepers
and
need to keep this on this
Boy,
side of
I
the
don't
center line.
think they're going to
It
do it.
looks like
They're
we
off.
are.
So now Kalamazoo with a golden opportunity for at least 2, but now let's see if they're looking. Is there any way to get more than that? They seem to be talking about trying to move.
It looks like we're just trying to do the draw, I think, Dan.
Just draw down, use our blue even as a. No, they need to.
You don't want to move
No,
it too much. You can't
no.
really use it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you rub just the very side of it, but
So it looks
really
like-
just trying to get to the button just to the right of that. Keep it just to the right of our blue one there to score a second point.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan almost wants almost a corner freeze onto ours as the end point that he's looking for. I think to your point, there's a little concern about that guard, whether they can. They'd like to be going wider at it if possible. So it's going to be close here on both of those guards actually as it's on its final curl path. So Marcus Gleaton, last stone, and number 5 looking for a draw to fully get into the blue 4 foot if possible.
It looks like the rock might be hanging wide a little bit.
And is he going to clear? And he does look like he clears it.
All right, cleared. Now we got to straighten it
Does
out.
clear it. He's sweeping.
Weight's
Now-
got to come down.
They do need a tap.
Just a tad of the rub. All right,
They
and
got
a
what
good
they
shot.
wanted. Great shot, Marcus Gleaton.
Looked like that shot was well managed from end to end with the sweepers and Skip Ryan Larson calling the line.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. He had to have the exact right weight to not clip those guards, still get in. So that was a well played stone to end our 5th end, with Kalamazoo now leading 6-2 after 5 ends.
So a win for Kalamazoo here in this one will put them into the 7 o'clock draw tonight.
So I did see the shot caught, but I'm guessing Ryan's going to try to bring this one into the house. And based on the weight, that seems to be the call. On sheet D of our women's match, the Kalamazoo team has a whole slew of stones in the house. As they're going into skip stones. Team Midland looks like they're trying to clear some of that slew up. So back to our sheet A match.
So Marshall trying to set up something, I'm guessing it was supposed to be a corner guard. Looks a
Yeah.
little bit heavy.
Yeah, I could tell from the look on Shane's face after he threw it, that was not what he was looking for. So Ryan wants another one in the house. He'd like this one to be in front of the tee at the top of the 4 foot, ideally. Sweepers not sweeping feverishly. They're liking what they see from the weight. Ryan wants it right at the top of the forefoot. And Brandon Bilski throws a very nice shot.
And now Marshall Peterson is electing to hit the shot. Ideally, probably wants his rock to stay in the house on the outside of the rings there. So waving the sweepers off.
Shane pushed it out, unfortunately, and is he going to clip that one? Did not clip anything. So Ryan, I think, wants to continue this house barrage. He's calling for a tap. He'd like to see Brandon's last shot get tapped about down to the button. Trevor Krause, he's asking for T-line weight. So he's looking for the weight that would normally go down to the button, just to tap that top stone back a little bit. Sweepers looking to Ryan to determine whether he'd like them to sweep.
Looks to me to be just a slightly heavier than they want.
Yep, they're looking for some curl, hoping that maybe Brandon can catch a piece of it. And he does get a piece. So mission accomplished in keeping stones in-house. So Peterson needs to get one of these out of here. They're not probably loving the idea that there are 3 blue stones now in the house. There's an opportunity to get rid of both of these with a good shot, though, right, Colby?
There is, Dan. And at some point, Peterson will have to try to get some guards or something in play here to score points.
And here's a nice, almost a really good double.
They really needed to keep that shooter, around.
So Ryan now electing to try to split the house. Since we've got some separation, he wants to just kind of move them around the house. I think initially was hoping to keep things down the center, but that's unable at this point.
There's still an opportunity to do that, but just not really wanting to guard something that's in the back of the house, just split it.
This really puts Columbus in a tough position. They have no guards. It's tough for them to score points. Sweepers, they like the weight. It's maybe a little heavier than they want, but ends up accomplishing the goal of getting stones on opposite sides of the house. That was the call. As he
looks like they're calling for the takeout. I think they're trying to hit the one that was just thrown and then possibly roll over to that one that's sitting in the back of the house on the center.
That one feels like it's hanging out too. Oh, they're looking for a double of sorts, and they again just
needed to curl up just a tad bit more there, Dan, and they could have sat right in front of that one in the back.
Yeah, they've been really close on the last 2, but weren't able to keep their shooter.
So now it looks like we're just trying to replace that same rock that was just removed, but probably have it just a little bit higher in front of that tee line.
Yeah, having that shot back where it was did leave the possibility of that double. Sweepers are calling tee, so they believe that the stone's going to get to the tee line. Now they're jumping on it. They want to make sure they get into the 8-foot ideally. And a really nice weight shot by Trevor. Good shot. And good communication from the sweepers with Skip. Anybody else new on the broadcast? We're kind of hanging in that 27 to 30 range. Anybody else want to let us know where you're from? It's always kind of cool for us to see. Do we have any Canadians? Do we have any of Trevor Krause's family watching in Canada? That's my golden question. All right, sweeper's on it. And oh my, that is exactly what they did not want to have happen. They wanted to hit something and did not hit anything. So I believe now Marcus is probably, I didn't see, I'm guessing he wants something on the center line in the house.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to center line here. Calling it the top of the 4 foot on the center line is where they want this to end up.
Sweepers again talking to Marcus. They're saying it's going to be close to where they want it. Trevor yelling top 8. And he was right in his assessment. Stone ends up top 8. So Columbus needs, I think they're looking probably for a hit and roll here. So he called the sweepers off. And oh my goodness, again, between the blue stones. Columbus having trouble removing yellow stones here at the 6th end. Is he calling the button here?
I think we're playing a tap or a split.
I mean, as it stands, Columbus does have a draw right now. Really on either side if they need it. So I don't know if Marcus is trying to bring one in, maybe the top of the 4 foot.
Not enough ice for that, so I think they're trying to
tip
I think
that
they're
blue one
tap
maybe at the
that
top?
blue one back is what
Okay.
my guess is.
Another shot that wouldn't be horrible that maybe he's trying, Colby, is to tick it on the side, where then they both
Kind of
cover a
go
little
there
more.
and they both, yeah, just a little bit of a split, that way it covers down the whole draw path on both sides. Essentially like having
It's hard to tell.
couple
No,
of
maybe he
guards
was
up
going
there.
for the straight back tap. So looks like Marshall Peterson at this point now forced to go for the draw. It's there, but the unfortunate thing is those blue are lined up for a double run back to take it out potentially. So as he goes down, update on sheet C out of our unbeaten teams. We've got Team Columbus is ahead 4-3 after 5 ends. In the women's matchup, Team Midland is ahead 5-2 after 5 ends. Marshall Peterson with his first shot, first skip stone. He's really hoping to draw behind, but it's feeling a little heavy. He could come back to that stone though. He's does have a backer there. And indeed, I would leave that, boys, if I were you.
I think he wanted some separation, so if we want to hit that yellow one out, it looks like we can come down, clip that, get it out of play. They are looking at a double run back that you had spoken about.
Although I think, look on the broadcast here. Yeah, it's pretty tough down there. You know, the one other shot would be kind of a down weight hit, hoping to just move it out a little bit. I mean, the other thing Marcus could do is just draw down to it if he was wanting to cut them down, but it looks like he's going for that hit.
You don't get all the way down to it, or you let it hang a little bit, then you leave the door open to score 2.
Right. So Marcus trying to run these two center line blue stones back. He's got Trevor sweeping, Ryan does. shot is made. Wow, it was close. Trevor's gassed. We need to bring him some oxygen. He's he's gasping for breath, but did help hold that stone for a huge shot. It does leave the wide open draw for Peterson, but those are not as easy as they look, are they, Colby?
They are not. I've been in this situation. Drawing against force rocks is not easy. This does have to be fully in the 8 foot, which in the white part of the rings there, out counting that blue one that's in the white.
For the golfers in the group, this is the 4 foot putt that you know you can make 9 out of 10 times, but when it's for the to win the skin on the hole, it's not as easy. I think this is a pretty good weight shot. They just got to be careful not to over curl, but it's looking pretty darn good. And Kalamazoo Marcus is looking to see if he can sweep it, but no. Nice shot by Marshall Peterson. It's a good example where if your skip can come through for you at the end, Colby. I mean, that whole end was not looking great for Columbus, but
no, there was not.
that is why Marshall gets paid the big bucks for Columbus. So, nice shot, keeping Columbus in this match for sure. After 6-3, Kalamazoo over Columbus. Kalamazoo with the hammer going into the 7th.
Well, we're going to take a short break. I'll be right back.
All right, into our 7th end. Columbus throwing first. Shane Donsworth. Looking for that center line guard. Marshall Peterson out to try to move it a little bit further. And a very nice job by Shane. Ryan Larson calling for the draw around. Bring it in the house behind that guard. Brandon Bilski throwing our first shot. Looks like we might have a bathroom break by Marcus because I don't see him on the ice, so we've just got one sweeper for this stone. Trevor will be sweeping Brandon's stone. So far, they either like the weight or they think it's heavy. Trevor's not touching it. Feels like it might be a hair heavy from my perspective. Marshall Peterson looking to try to sweep it as far back or out if possible. Stone ends up at the back of the 12th foot. So Shane Donsworth with his second stone. Looking to do what Team Kalamazoo was trying to do, just is draw around that guard. Based on the body language of everybody on Columbus, I think they were feeling that was maybe a little wide. Stone is starting to come down. Everybody jumping on it. And shot ends up in a pretty good spot in that it's in line with blue stone behind it. away for a second, and I see a really nice shot that Brandon Bilski threw for Kalamazoo, top of the 4-foot, undercover. Very nice shot. Josh Renick up with his first stone, throwing second. Sweeper's watching the stone. Start to get on it. Shot, I believe they were calling for the corner freeze, but they got down pretty close. Ryan doesn't like that center line guard, so he wants to get rid of it at this point. So he is calling for a peel. Again, a peel is ideally shooting stone that Trevor's throwing will hit the corner of that yellow stone, and both the yellow and the blue will come out of play. So Ryan's got him. He wanted him to come across center, but I'm not sure we're going to lose a blue stone. Instead, he squared it up. So not what they were looking for. One piece of good news for Kalamazoo is it's their stone now on the center line, but still gives Columbus the opportunity to draw around that center line guard. Josh Renick, his second stone. Sweeper's watching it. They either like it or it's heavy. It's looking like it's maybe heavier than they wanted. Ryan's getting in there to hopefully, for him, sweep it through the house. And he at least gets it to the back of the house. All right, Ryan's calling for the same shot. He just asked Trevor if he's going to throw the same weight. Because if he is, Ryan, I think, maybe gave him a little more ice this time. Trying to hold that line the best they can. So mission partially accomplished. Trevor at least moved it off the center line, but did leave a guard out there, which unfortunately for Kalamazoo did end up guarding the yellow stone. So it looks like Skip Peterson calling for a top 8 center line guard at this point. Throwing third for Columbus, looking for, based on what I saw from the skip, a shot in the house, center line, kind of top of 12 foot. This looks like it's a little heavier than they wanted. And indeed, this one, it's coming right down to the 4 foot. I can see, and we can see, Ryan was asking, he wanted to know if the center stone was indeed behind their stone off to the side, because I think he was wondering if he could hit and roll under the Kalamazoo stone that's to the left. So he was going down. Marcus called him down to just look to see the spacing. It's tough when you're on the ice to see that difference in depth. So I think what Marcus is potentially discussing is hitting and rolling off
kind of right to that yellow stone, where if Columbus opted to hit it, they'd be popping their own stone out. So we'll see what happens. That's my guess. What's happening here. Colby had to step away for a bit. He did have an injury on the ice, and so I know he's helping out in that situation. So it may just be me the rest of the way. We shall see. So here's Ryan on a pretty, what we would call upweight hit. He's got Brandon sweeping hard. Indeed, he was off to the side a bit, but I don't think he came over as much as both he and Marcus had hoped. That is an exposed stone now. So it looks like it does give Columbus the opportunity just for a straight hit on Ryan Stone. So Eric Denzer with his last shot in the 7th end. Indeed makes the hit. Picks out a couple other stones in the process. But for Team Columbus, they are accomplishing much of their goal, which is they've got some stones in the house here, making it difficult for Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo has the hammer. The big lead, so I'm not sure that Kalamazoo would hate even giving up one here. So Marcus trying to decide what to do here. And he is deciding to hit that stone at the top. He wants to square it, wants to leave Ryan's stone right there at the top of the 12 foot. Ryan throwing an out turn, counterclockwise rotation on the stone. So I think he got a little more outside than he wanted, but there is the opportunity. Okay, so I think Ryan, I was watching his body language, he thought for a hot second there was a chance to maybe roll over and catch that yellow stone on the right if indeed his shot was wider than he wanted, but Columbus trying to decide what to do here. I think what they're trying to do is roll undercover to a curl, I should say, undercover of their yellow stone on the left, which will force either a tap or probably a draw by Kalamazoo. On sheet B, we do have some shaking going on, which indicates, and best I can tell, that Cincinnati has won their match against Columbus. So Marshall Peterson with our skip stones, first throw of the skip stones. And indeed it looks like he's trying to draw undercover. Sweepers really doing their best to try to get that thing to come along. He comes in to give them a little respite. Not quite as far as I think he had hoped. In fact, I'm quite certain he wanted to be out-counting Ryan's last hit, and it did not quite get there. So Marcus will be up for his first stone, his first skip stone. You see them discussing that top stone, so I think they're probably talking about tapping it back. Right now, as it stands, yellow has shot number one. I cannot tell which team has the second closest rock to the center. Looks pretty close between that yellow one off to the side and Kalamazoo's blue stone at the back of the house. So can't quite tell exactly if, based on that ice, I do believe they're going for the tap. I saw Ryan ask for T-weight. So I don't think they're trying to draw. They'd be giving more ice than that. So I'm pretty sure Ryan's hoping for a tap here. And I do see Colby making his way back up. Marcus with his first stone. Ryan asking where it is. He wants to know the weight. I think it's a little heavier than Marcus was hoping for. He really needs to catch a piece of that thing. And he does. And nice shot, Marcus Gleaton. Might leave that blue one open for a hit. There is a gap there. Welcome back, Colby.
Oh, thank you.
I mentioned we had an injury on the ice. I didn't mention any names, but it was the person that fell okay.
They're going to the ER.
Oh, okay.
They may have a separated shoulder.
Oh, no.
Actually did not even fall.
Oh, no.
Just delivering the rock.
Oh,
Terrible.
yeah, that's too bad. So,
Maybe I gotta catch myself up here on this game.
yeah,
here.
so
Looks
we've had
like-
a pretty interesting end. Marcus was hoping to tap his back there and keep it under cover, but it looks like there's a gap there for Peterson to hit.
Skip Stone.
Nice shot by Columbus. So Columbus out of stones and being down without the hammer.
Looks like they're sitting.
Yeah, they're sitting 1-2 for sure, and I can't tell on those other ones. They might be sitting 3, but they for sure have 2. So Team Kalamazoo wants to at least eliminate one of those stones. Honestly, even
Really
if they
want to score 1 point.
Yeah,
here. That's
ideally.
really ideally.
Truth be known, even if they did give up the 2 here, I mean, they would come home with the hammer still up 2, but they just show that they can give up 2 if that happens. So they definitely want to get one of these if they can.
Does look like, I would say, like a hack rate hit on the intern side is available, possibly. Can't tell how far that yellow rock is under the guard. It looks like it's peeking out just a little bit.
It's to me like one other option that they don't need to be looking at is just a hit and roll off that one on the right, but they must not believe that that's
A
counting.
little bit more of a difficult shot. Those rocks are fairly flat.
Yeah, as I'm looking at the overhead view, I think there's more of that yellow stone available than I initially thought. So
That does
he's got to
look
get
like
the weight right.
the shot they called is that one. Just get it down and just kind of push it. Doesn't have to remove it all the way. Just kind of push it back far enough and sit shot rock.
But again, I think it's not the worst thing in the world to even give up one. So let's see. Looks to be.
This looks to be narrow. We might be playing a tap back.
Yeah, they weren't sweeping it, and I think they should have been.
We are
Are they gonna
definitely on the guard. Are we going to get a lucky roll in?
Now they're looking at stones. Let's see, we might look. Oh boy. Well, that one that rolled over now suddenly comes into play. And I think yellow got 2. Yeah, looks to me yellow 2. So, not ideal for Kalamazoo. Marcus, I can tell, is a little frustrated. But they're coming home into the 8th end. with the hammer and still up 2.
Two, so up
Columbus has to
one
be.
with hammer. It looks like they scored.
Oh, I thought they were up 4. Yep, you're right. I was giving the wrong score all along. I'm bad. So yeah, up 1. So not ideal for Kalamazoo. So.
But we do have the hammer, which is good.
Yep. Trying to stay objective and not say we.
Well, I am the president of the Kalamazoo Club, so I think I can say we.
All right, fine. I'll try to stay objective. So very nice end by Columbus to put themselves right back in a nice opportunity to either force this game to Colby in this format. Do they play an extra end or do they do LSD if it's a
Supposed
tie?
to be a whole extra end.
Okay.
It does look like sheet B finished up.
Yep, that Cincinnati won that match.
Okay.
I haven't updated the girls' match in a bit. Going into the 7th end, it does appear that they did get one in the 6th, so they are down 5-3. Looks like.
It does look like 5-3.
Midland. So we have a stoppage in play. What are we looking for here?
What they are doing.
Oh, they're trying to determine if it's touching center.
If it's touching center or not. So we gotta use a speed square. Then you put straight down on the side of the rock.
Oh, here comes the official. This is a big moment, folks. We get to see Mitch Rake, our official. He's waving to the camera. This is his big moment to try to determine, is this stone touching the center line? Mitch eyeing up the stone. This is about as exciting as it gets, folks. And his decision is, he wants to take a second look at it. So this is our. So we don't have NFL replay. We have live Mitch Rake officiating replay here.
I think they determined it was touching the line.
They did.
I think that was what was determined.
So for Ryan to ask on that, was he debating trying to ticket himself if it wasn't? I mean, I would assume that'd be the only reason he'd have been asking for that measurement, right?
It may be just how close do you want to play to that rock. So it does look like we're just trying to
draw in.
Well, this looks pretty heavy for a draw.
Do you think he was trying for the tick?
If it's touching the center line, you would not try for the tick, because that's the no tick rule. Right. So if we, again, there's me saying we, if Kalamazoo would have, if that yellow rock is touching the center line, and Kalamazoo ticked it off the center line, the rock would go back place, and the Kalamazoo rock would be removed from play.
So Columbus looks to be trying to draw in behind their guard. Their Denzer on the broom sweeping. I think they got maybe a little lighter than they'd hoped.
Now, I don't know the rule. It might be interesting. Would be if that first rock wasn't on the center line, and they tick their own rock to the center line, I would think it would be in the no tick.
You know, we could ask that question of Mitch Rake, right? I don't know. I don't know the rules as well as I should.
Well, the no tick rule is a rule that we do not play in our regular league matches at the club. So it is pretty much reserved for higher level curling. which, this tournament this weekend is going to represent the Great Lakes Curling Association at Nationals in Fargo, North Carolina.
Oh, Fargo.
Fargo, North Carolina. That's not even close.
North Dakota.
North Dakota.
I thought
That's
it was
what I meant to say.
I think I said Grand. I don't know. I said something wrong earlier, so I knew it was North Dakota. Hey, we're up to 35 viewers, Colby. I mean, the word is getting out that this is a high-level broadcast of GLCA curling playdowns.
So it must have been determined that that rock was not on the center line, unless we were able to take it there and it still stayed on the center line.
Yeah, this is a good shot though by. Nope. Still on.
Oh, the rub is.
But the rub helped him. Yeah.
Kalamazoo be looking to remove these guards from play now.
Don says tick with a T, right. So we obviously have a few new people watching. For anybody that's come onto the broadcast in the last half hour, let us know where you're from as we're ending our match here hopefully soon. Or not hopefully, but we will be, I think, ending it soon. So Ryan wanted to remove some stones from the center, but kind of some bad luck for Kalamazoo. It didn't accomplish what he hoped.
So I did get a direct message from Trevor's better half saying that Trevor's parents, Ed and Shirley, are watching from Stamford, Ontario.
Nice. We've gone international.
Stratford, sorry.
We have gone international, people. We've got South Carolina, Canada, Wisconsin, Ohio, and Michigan, I know, represented on this broadcast. So if you're watching from anything other than those areas, let us know. I should have my mom tune in down in Florida, and then we could have Florida in the mix. All right. I saw them talking about kind of tap. I don't know if that's still the call. I think it probably is with that ice. I think they're looking to... yeah, I think that is the call here. Hoping to run. And they do end up getting a bit of a run back. It's kind of undercover, I believe. Actually, it's not. It is open. But Ryan is he deciding to ignore that?
Kalamazoo wants to get rid of these guards, so they want this house to be open as possible. So if we can, it looks like the shot is to kind of hit this. Oh,
yes, I like that.
Changing stuff.
So what Ryan's thinking is try to remove that guard, but if Trevor throws wide, he will very likely hit that shot stone. I like that call. I mean, it's not that you want to plan for a miss, but at least it gives you an option.
Well, they're playing the other option is that the top blue one can run back onto the yellow one that's in the 12-foot.
Yeah.
Open that up to that side.
There you go, Trevor.
Nope. So a little wider than what they were hoping for on that.
Or was he hoping to have it hit one of those yellows?
Yeah, I think the call was to
Run it back?
run that guard back into the yellow that's in the 12-foot. Spill the other one off to the side, get rid of one rock, and now you have something in the 12-foot that you might be able to work with your own rock at some point. So it does look like Ryan will have to try to dig himself out of a little bit of a hole here.
And Kalamazoo with hammer on this end. The yellow starting to pile some stones in and around that center line, and they could get a little roll here that will benefit them. So Marcus wants to get rid of that stone.
Roll under, so as long as he gets rid of the stone, rolls under the other guard.
I think his hope would be to get rid of that shot stone too, right? If he hits it right, if he gets that angle right.
I think if the angle's right, you hit just a little.
So
right on nose. I think we'll get rid of both of them. All right, Marcus is I think calling just inside the nose. I think.
Yep. So this will go a long ways to helping Kalamazoo remove some of those yellow stones. Ryan with definitely an upweight hit. He's got Brandon on it. They're calling for the sweep.
All right. Still not a bad result. We got a rock in for second. Removed the guard that was covering the shot rock. Marshall is probably going to be looking to
Hit and roll.
looks like hit and roll. No, I think I can't. I don't know. This could be just a guard back replacing the guard that was just hit.
This one is heavier than I think they
Heavier.
want, so they're going to be clipping, I think, one of their stones or bringing it all the way back to their other one. And no. Marcus kind of eyeing these two stones up. You know, he's asking for a no shot, which, based on the way I'm seeing these lined up on the broadcast, Colby, a double or a squared shot here will
remove both.
We'll remove both. So Ryan getting a second shot here at it. And Ryan did not hit the spot he wanted. He did remove the stone, but you can tell he's not happy with the result. So as we sit, Columbus with shot rock, Kalamazoo is sitting 2. If Columbus does end up stealing 1, we will go into a 9th end. Looks like our battle of the undefeated teams has come right down to it. They are tied at 5 with a few stones left here in the 8th end.
It does look like the Detroit team has hammer in the 8th. And currently sitting second shot in the house. Back to our game. Peterson trying to throw that guard. Maybe looks like this is going to be a high guard.
Probably not far enough. I'm going to look at the broadcast here. It's tough from our vantage point to tell. No, that's a pretty good guard. But being the high guard, there is definitely room for Marcus to get to it if he wants to throw a down weight. Yep. So Marcus is going with a down weight hit. If it overcurls, his conversation with Ryan was that they'll remove the guard. It'll clip that guard and force Team Columbus to try to replace it. I'm not sure if you could hear. There's not as much noise in the broadcast or in the arena, but Ryan's asking for a hack weight. So definitely a down weight hit so that it's moving after it clears that guard. Here's Marcus with his first throw. Feels a bit more than hack. Let's see.
It's a little narrow.
Yeah, it is narrow. Come on, Trevor. Yep. Is he going to get around it? No. All right. It's going to come down to can Columbus,
going to be trying to throw another guard up.
or would he think about trying to bring it right down into it?
You don't want to leave the opportunity for a double and lose the game. I think the guard position that he just threw seemed to be a pretty good guard. At least the first time it did its job. So he's probably trying to reproduce that again. Maybe a little bit closer to the house.
Right. Actually, I do have somebody watching from my family. My wife is watching, and she mentioned the Trevor's Canadian family tuning in. So we're getting to see an exciting one here in Kalamazoo. It's coming down to the skip stones. Marshall Peterson with his last stone, and I just heard him say coming in, this looks to be, Trevor's calling it heavy, so they think this is going to come close to that stone. Columbus definitely wants it centered in front of it. They don't want it.
There's a little separation there. I can't tell if they're.
Looks for a tough. So yeah, Kalamazoo is looking to hit an off-center hit.
Kalamazoo shooter rock does not need to stick around since they have another rock in the house.
Yep. So
just have to remove the 2 yellow runs.
Yep. So Marcus wants to. I know Jenny Levy would appreciate this. He just wants to come across the face of the stone. He does not, I don't think, want to square it, does he? I mean, I'm trying to look here at the.
I don't think a complete square. No.
No, square would not be good. He needs to be off the center.
And he's electing to throw the outturn here. Rather than trying to throw the middle rock and cross over, throwing the other way.
All right, well, here's Marcus with the chance to end the match for Kalamazoo. He definitely needs to remove at least one of them.
Right.
No, I think he's got it. And he does. Kalamazoo comes down to the final shot. Congratulations.
Final shot in the 8th end.
Congratulations to Team Gleaton out of Kalamazoo in a really well fought match between the two opponents. Handshakes are being had, and that keeps Kalamazoo alive, and I do believe ends Columbus's run during the playdown. So what time does Kalamazoo again play? 7?
Yep, back on the ice at 7 o'clock tonight.
I don't think there's going to be a broadcast, at least from me. I guess, Colby, tune in.
There won't be a broadcast from myself either later on. So.
All right, well, you guys watching at home, you can all commentate from home as well as Colby and I did here this afternoon. But thank you all for tuning in. We appreciate you watching us at the Kalamazoo Curling Club. If you are in the area, come down and check us out. I think everybody that's on here, though, is friends and families, so you all know the routine. With Colby Novar, I'm Dan Aberg. Thank you all for joining the broadcast of the GLC Playdowns.
We're still recording.